Hello and welcome to Special Report with me, Julian Waters. The Olympic Games are just days away. It's the third time that the modern Games have been awarded to London. The IOC has long connected the Olympics with maintaining what they call universal ethical principles and social responsibility. Now, in the era of equality and in one of the world's most ethnically diverse cities, it remains a fact that Saudi Arabia may yet send a team to London populated solely by male athletes, and that not a single woman of Islamic faith has ever competed for Team GB. In the second part of tonight's programme, we've got the story of Fran Halsall, one British woman who will be competing at the Olympics. But before that, Kaveh Solikol reports on why, once more, these will be a Games where some female athletes are second amongst equals.
Everyone who's carried the Olympic torch this summer has a story to tell. Nada Zeidan is no different. She's a Qatari nurse who's always dreamed of taking part in the Olympics. Qatar and Brunei will send women to the Games for the first time this month. And Saudi Arabia says it will allow women who can qualify to compete. But are these just token gestures by countries who, to varying degrees, actively discriminate against women because of their gender?
Qatar is a small country, and I found a lot of challenge that time when I start. But in the end, I break all this barrier, and I believe myself, and I believe what I'm doing. And in the end, I want to show all the world what the Qatari ladies and Arabic women can do.
And that leads to a wider debate. Is there anything in the Quran that says women shouldn't take part in sport? And are we here in the UK in any position to lecture the world about equality? The Olympic Stadium is in Newham, a borough where up to half the population are thought to be Muslims. There are about 50 mosques in Newham. It's one of the most diverse boroughs in the country. But this summer, there'll hardly be any Muslims representing Team GB. It's exactly 9:24 p.m. and time for prayers. By allowing Muslim boys to pray while they train, the Zesh Rehman Foundation is doing its bit to break down barriers in this corner of South London. 2 weeks ago, a boy was stabbed in this Croydon park. Tonight, for just £2, boys are coached by a former Premier League defender. A Muslim player who was told by one coach when he was growing up that he'd never make it as a pro because of the colour of his skin.
There's no barriers there. A lot of people I found have brought attention to it. You know, for myself when I was growing up, I never brought any attention to it or asked for any special treatment. You know, because football and sport in general is one way that can unite people together. You know, so I think if the people that are making the decisions in the game or the sport are open-minded enough and are aware of what issues there might be, you know, then it will be more harmonious for everybody.
So is there anything to suggest that Islam and sport are incompatible? On the day that Saudi Arabia said it intended to send at least one woman to the Games, we went to see an expert on Islam and the Muslim world. I asked him if the Quran says anything about women not being allowed to play sport.
The Quran is a document that dates back to the 7th century, and I think sports was not exactly something that featured in the daily life of most people. So it was an issue that was not germane to 7th century Arabs, hence there is nothing specifically about it. And that's where you get the disputes. Those who say if it's not specifically mentioned that you can do it, means it's forbidden. Well, the opposing view is, well, it's not forbidden, so why not allow it? Societies evolve, change, and if it's not in direct opposition to an explicit prohibition in the Quran, there should be no reason why women could not engage in sport. And it's a lively debate among Muslims the world over.
At the moment, that debate is centred on Saudi Arabia, an ultra-conservative society run according to the rules of the Wahhabi branch of Islam. Here, girls are not allowed into PE lessons, and it's not considered appropriate for women to take part in sport. Policies which fly in the face of the Olympic Charter which states that every individual must have the right to practice sport without discrimination of any kind.
The thing to understand about women in Saudi Arabia is that they're treated as children. That it's not just the fact that they have to be covered up all the time in what seems to me quite an absurd way. It's that women can't go anywhere without a chaperone or a guardian. So adult women can't actually just get in a car and drive. They're not allowed to drive. They're not allowed to go to restaurants, to appear in public without a male guardian. So that makes them, they don't have just the normal freedom that adults take for granted.
Things are changing slowly for women in Saudi Arabia. They can now work and travel with the permission of a male guardian. And in the future, they've been promised the right to vote, if real elections are ever held. The campaign to highlight gender discrimination in the Olympics was run from this central London office by an organisation that's been a thorn in the side of the Saudi regime.
Human Rights Watch believes that there are some basic rights that everybody in the world should enjoy, regardless of their nationality or their religion. And that includes the right of women and girls to participate in physical education and recreation. That's important. People, for their health reasons as well as other reasons, it's important that people should be able to do that. And to say to a woman in Saudi Arabia, you cannot run or kick a football or swim because you're a girl in the 21st century, this cannot be right. This offends against a notion that there are some basic things that everybody in the world should be entitled to.
It's not often that the eyes of the country are on Holderness Road in Hull, but today it's different. The Olympic torch is coming to town. Few people here are aware that one of today's torchbearers is from Qatar, a country that has never sent a woman to the Olympics. And there's genuine shock that in Saudi Arabia, women and girls are banned from taking part in sport.
Please think seriously about your policies and about your ideology. Please take it seriously. Girls have so much to give. In every area, not just in the area of sport, but in every area of life, politics, government, leadership, in every area, women have so much to offer.
3 years ago, the Saudi regime closed private gyms for women during a clampdown aimed at restricting female access to sport. 10 days ago, international pressure forced the Saudi embassy in London to announce that female citizens would be allowed to take part in the Olympics for the first time. So with less than a month to go until the start of the Games, is the Saudi change of heart genuine? Or is it a ploy to divert attention away from an issue that damages the image of Saudi Arabia on the world stage?
It's a very late decision. I mean, we're, 4 weeks away from the Olympics? And when you think of the amazing amount of preparation, the years that top athletes put into getting ready for the event, it's not as if a lot of women in Saudi Arabia are suddenly going to say, well, actually, here I am ready, I can come. So effectively, I think they've given in to international outrage, but the actual practical effect is not huge.
We know that there are women in Saudi who are appreciative of our efforts to raise this issue. There are lots of women in Saudi Arabia that would like to participate in sport. There are women and girls in Saudi Arabia that, as I say, do try to find secluded places to play football or to do running or to do gymnastics. But when that is discovered, they're often clamped down on quite hard. Those facilities are closed down. They get into trouble for doing that. So they appreciate the international efforts that we and others are making to draw attention to this one example of systematic discrimination against Saudi Arabian women and girls. It's not the only example. I mean, Saudi Arabian women are really pretty much treated as second-class citizens.
It's a different story, though, at millions of Islamic schools all around the world. At this thriving girls' school based in a former church in the Olympic borough of Newham, PE is one of the most popular classes on the timetable.
They love PE. We've just had a new PE teacher who's probably qualified, and they absolutely love PE. We've had really good feedback, and being part of all the Olympic preparation has really helped promote sport, because in our religion we encourage people to be healthy in mind and body and spirit anyway, so looking after your body is very important. So eating healthily, taking exercise, so all of it helps.
Only a few minutes walk away from the Azhar Academy is the Baitul Ahad Mosque. Built on the site of a former synagogue, it's where we met an Islamic scholar who told us that there was nothing in the Quran which outlawed sport for anyone.
It's not a religious issue as such. It's more of maybe a social issue as well. You know, our parents or our grandparents, they came to this country at a time when, you know, they struggled a lot to make ends meet. So for them to commit to a particular sport, it would be very difficult. Speaking from the perspective of Islam, anything that is pure or lawful and is a benefit for the mankind, Islam actually encourages it. And sports is an excellent example of this.
Many words will be written about the Olympics this summer. Many claims will be made about what sport can do to break down barriers and bring people together. Some of it will ring true. Some of it will be hollow. Slogans dreamt up by ad men and brand consultants. One community you may hear little about are the thousands of Muslims who live and work in the shadow of the Olympic Stadium. And not everything you think you know about them may be true.
Well, we did ask the International Olympic Committee for a comment on this story, but they declined our request. Saudi Arabia is still yet to confirm the names of any women who may compete under its flag later this month. That's it for the first part of our programme, but the Olympic countdown continues after the break. We'll be with one of Team GB's top swimming stars in the pool. The clock is ticking for one of our best medal prospects, and she's going for gold in no less than 5 different events.
Francesca Holstall is my name, and swimming is my game.
We join Fran as she relaxes at home with her mum in Cheshire and get to know the rest of her extended family. And we're airborne during a warm weather training camp on the glorious Côte d'Azur in the south of France.
This is the view off our balcony. Lots of nice boats and the pool, the deck side. So nice, I think I could live here.
Tackle any challenge with 100% confidence. Sure, man, it won't let you down.
There's something imminent in my head. I wonder how long I could switch it off and switch it off again. It may be shame that I'm feeling, but it makes me get off my bed. And then I watch my face in the mirror and find myself in another place. I swear that I'm on the reason for losing confusion. I find a proper solution, come back and it's nice to see you again. It's better than nothing.
The new Peugeot 208. Let your body drive.
No other dating site gets to know you better than we do. Join eharmony.co.uk today and review your matches for free.
Choo choo choo, make savings with the train.
Check train times and buy tickets with our free mobile app. To save on train tickets, choose the trainline.com.
Remember the bog-off offer from SafeStar UK? Well, it's back!
You know the one. You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free. Right now, for every single window door that you buy, I'll give you another one absolutely free.
They promise to beat any genuine like-for-like quotation. Plus, there's flexible monthly payments to suit you. And SafeStar are still giving you free fitting.
Trust me, it's free fitting. So, call 0800 106 107. I said 0800 106 107 now!
Welcome to Hotels.com. Have you heard of our loyalty program? When you collect 10 nights, you get one free. Welcome rewards from Hotels.com. Wake up happy.
Are you willing to say whether you lean right or left?
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question. Why is
It's
America
not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
Good evening, I'm Will McAvoy.
Can you move your BlackBerry off the desk?
He's trying to do good, and he's risking a lot to do it.
We're coming to a tipping point.
Why is this happening?
He's going to tone it down, or I'm going to fire him.
The Newsroom starts Tuesday the 10th of July on Sky Atlantic HD.
You're watching Special Report. On tonight's programme, we're examining the participation of female athletes at the Olympic Games. In part 2, we're with Team GB swimmer Fran Halsall as she prepares for an assault on 5 different titles in the Aquatic Centre. Geraint Hughes caught up with a woman ranked second in the world for the 100 freestyle, but for whom first is the only number which counts.
Halsall is my name, and swimming is my game.
Having that extra support is what gets you the medals and not. Everything's going in the right direction.
The times I'm doing in sessions and what I'm doing in sessions is working.
17,000 and not 2,000 people cheering. It's going to be insane. I can actually see the light now because there's only 4 weeks of training left.
At 22, Fran Halsall's performances at London 2012 could propel her to sporting immortality. She's young, eager, talented, and most importantly, quick.
We've just been to Monaco and Cannes doing some racing, and I raced faster than I've ever raced at this time of year over there, which is a really good sign considering I've never done as much hard training beforehand. Everything has been building up to this Olympics for the past 4 years. I've had the plan in place, so I've been sticking to my plan and everything's been going well.
This is Fran Halsall.
Fran lived in Southport until she was 18 years old. She was swimming in Liverpool at the time and went to school in Crosby. Most swimming talent is spotted and nurtured at a very young age. Halsall was no different, but Olympic talent is rare.
The first time I saw her swim, I thought, you know, she's going to go to high places. I interviewed her for her place at St Mary's, and during that interview I asked her what her ambition was in life, and even then she said to win a gold medal at the Olympics. So even from the age of 11 she knew what she wanted, and I think that's what she's strived for, and it's great to see her actually get into the Olympics and hopefully achieving that gold medal.
She excelled at everything and she was outstanding across the board, but for her swimming was always #1.
She used to swim 5 o'clock in the morning, get to school at 8:45, obviously do her schoolwork during the day, and then it would be off to training again after school, so she was extremely driven.
We're all really proud, it's great. I was shouting for her in the gym.
At London 2012, Halsall has qualified to compete in 5 events. 5 events in which 5 medals are very possible.
Everybody who's helped me and supported me through school and through swimming and throughout life really is always all behind me, and it's really nice knowing that. Like when you're standing behind the blocks and there's 17,000 people screaming in the crowd, you know everyone that you used to go to school with and at home is like really behind you and want you to do well. It just really gives you the confidence to like stand up tall and go, yeah, I'm going to give it my best shot now. So I'm looking forward to the summer. It's going to be good fun.
This is Roma. Roma, I got, well, after World Championships in Roma in 2009, my parents said that if I won a medal I could have a puppy, and Roma was that puppy, so she's my little princess really, and Dylan's her big brother.
Like many British success stories in the pool, sacrifices have been made by those closest to them, namely family. Halsall, despite a hectic training and competition schedule, regularly heads back to Cheshire, where the family have now settled.
She's always been so independent, really, from being quite tiny, really independent, haven't you? Her own mind, knows what she wants, knows where she's going. And that's it, really. She's Unusual, aren't you? She learnt to swim at kindergarten when she was 3, and they used to take groups in a little minibus over to a local pool with a really nice man, and Francesca hated it, and she wouldn't lie flat in the water, wouldn't put her head in the water, and she would swim along like that, and then after a few lessons didn't want to go anymore. But because she thinks she sat 10 lessons out, but because everybody else was still going and she wanted to do what everybody else wanted to do, she asked us could she go again. She did very, very well at the first club championships. She was with Ormskirk Otters, and she did her first club championships when she was 8. I don't think we ever thought or we ever took anything for granted that she was ever going to be an Olympian. You don't like to think, oh, you know, my child's really good at this, she's going to be an Olympian. But when she was 12, she did really well at nationals, and that is when British Swimming got really interested in her, and they really supported and helped from then on.
My mum and dad are just, I wouldn't be where I am without them, really. Like, the things that they sacrificed and gave up for me, everyone's like, oh, as a swimmer you have to give up lots, blah, blah, blah. But they had to give up so much. Like, my mum would come and pick me up from school and not get back in until 8 o'clock at night, and then have to cook dinner, and then have to get up and go to work the next day. So she's like, and they didn't like moan about it, complain, they just got on and did it.
With less than 4 weeks now until the London 2012 Games begin, swimming at the Aquatic Centre starts on day 1 of the Olympics. Team GB swimmers have therefore been in pursuit of perfection.
Hi, I'm currently in Cannes, which is in the south of France, not to be confused with Cannes, the nicer place. But to be fair, the sun's shining, the pool's really nice, and training's going well, and looking forward to doing some racing here. This is our little living space up here. We've got a little couch, which has currently become our closet. Couches, shoes, everywhere. Just explosion of luggage. We've got a nice upper balcony, which obviously towels and swimsuits out to dry. This is our view of Cannes.
96 from Great Britain, the world champion, Liam Tanko.
Bit of a splash and dash this.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited!
We're going to Monaco.
Just arrived in Monaco after a helicopter ride here, which is pretty cool, and also a chartered plane just for the swimmers. This is the view off our balcony. Lots of nice boats, and the pool, the deck side. So nice, I think I could live here. So we've been in Monaco a couple of days now. All the racing's done. I raced pretty well. I mean, I had to pull out the 100 freestyle in Cannes because I've had a bit of a sore shoulder. I wanted to rest a bit so I could do all my races here, and I did the 50s, which were 5 rounds of 50s, so it was knockout 50s, which is always good fun, but it means there's a lot of swimming involved because you do 3 50s on the first day, 2 50s on the second day. But it was all good fun, and I managed to do the 100 freestyle here as well, which was a bit of a bonus considering I had to sit and watch it in Cannes, which wasn't good fun. And I went a 54.2, which is pretty good. I think it's the fastest I've ever gone this time of year, mid-season. I think I've had the hardest 6 months of training in my life this season so far, so I know that the times I'm doing in sessions and what I'm doing in sessions is working, so I'm fast at the trials, so it's just like adding on to that now.
Everyone's nervous, but we all think she can do it. It's her time this year, so we'll see her in London, won't we?
I've had a lot of ups and downs along the way, like with surgery, Delhi belly, winning a world medal and all that kind of stuff, so it's been a good journey, but I'm looking forward to getting to the destination.
It's going to be hard to think about Olympics because training's going to be that stressful and hard that I won't be able to think about anything but having to get up the next morning and go and swimming. It's going to be tough physically and mentally because everyone wants to know about the Olympics, wants to talk about it and wants to be involved in it.
Everything she does, she doesn't see the point of doing it unless she can get the best result that she can possibly get.
I'll have butterflies in my my stomach from the moment she walks out to the moment she touches and hopefully first.
If everything comes together on the day, I'll be the happiest girl on the planet.
As the nervous energy increases, Olympic competition beckons ever closer. Halsall probably won't watch too much of the opening ceremony the next morning. At 10:31 precisely, her Olympic Games begin.
We'll keep a close eye on France's progress throughout the Olympics on Sky Sports News with live coverage from our Olympic studio in East London throughout the 17 days of the Games. That's it for tonight's programme. On next week's special report, we're joined by the chief architect of the London Games. Lord Coe is live in the studio to look ahead to an event 7 years in the making. With just days to go until the opening ceremony, the London 2012 boss shares his thoughts on the Olympics with special report. That's next Monday at 7:30 on Sky Sports News.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
You join us in Nature Valley, home to the official cereal bar to the London 2012 Games. And here comes the van, full of deliciousness. It's what they're all after. And they're off! Crikey! Oh, she can almost taste it now, and the crowd love it. Toasted oats, golden honey, and ooh, chocolate. Yes, Nature Valley, so irresistible. Official cereal bar to the London 2012 Games.
Create your own website with One-on-One. Whether you're a consultant, an electrician, or you run a nursery, choose from over 120 business sectors. Select your company name, colour and design. Industry-specific text and images included. Changes anytime. Personalise your content, design, logo or images online. One-on-One my website, oneandone.co.uk.
Sometimes the start of something special starts even earlier. No other dating site gets to know you better than eHarmony. So whether you're energetic, laid back, outgoing, or thoughtful, at eHarmony we'll only introduce you to people you can really connect with, giving you a better chance of finding someone really special. Join eHarmony.co.uk today and review your matches for free.
Hey, Phil, we got to get going. Time's money, yeah?
I've lost my car insurance documents.
Time you got Swift covered, man. You could get a car insurance quote in
Bada bing!
Double Swift time.
SwiftCover.com, super fast, innit?
Store your documents online.
Print them off as and when.
So you can get
a life. I've been such a fool.
Lost your car insurance documents, Barry?
Nah, mate, I've lost my car.
Get a life. Get Swift covered.
At Lexus, we don't stop until we create amazing. The new Lexus GS. Creating amazing.
Jenny, you're not still living in the area, are you?
No, I'm just visiting. I'm London-based.
What is it you do? Go on, wow me.
Here's your application form.
I'm a barista.
A barrister?
Barista.
God, that's bleak.
Jenny?
Basically, it's a job you might get when you leave prison.
Brand new comedy Parents starts with a double episode Friday at 8:30. Sky One HD.
24 hours a day. On PC. On mobile and in stunning HD. This is Sky Sports News. your home of sports news.
%100% confident to take on any challenge. Sure men, it won't let you down.
Stuart Pearce defends his decision not to include David Beckham in Team GB's